Hello everyone, Hezu here. Guess what? I have a gaming channel now, Hezu Gaming. Watch me suffer through Hollow Knight, and many more to come. Anyway, here's my review for Belle, the 2D, 3D anime movie that was released a little while ago in the US theaters. Anyway, video contains spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, then this video is not for you! A high school student becomes a globally beloved singer after entering a fantastic virtual world. She soon embarks on an emotional and epic quest to uncover the identity of a mysterious beast who's on the run from ruthless vigilantes. She finds the beast's hideout is located and destroyed. Belle finds the beast's identity, goes back to the virtual world and reveals her identity. Then she finds the beast IRL and protects him from his dad, then goes home. The end. Doesn't sound too bad, right? Oh boy, we're just getting started. But let's start simple. The music was lovely. The English voice actress for Belle had gorgeous vocals and shockingly sounded very much like the Japanese version. Animation was a mix of 2D and 3D. Sometimes the animation was pushed a little far, while other times it wasn't pushed enough. Some scenes look fine while others look wonky. Otherwise, this movie handled it pretty well, I'd say. The character designs were more stylized and looked like they were all truly part of that world, unlike something you'd see in actual VR. Japan is a huge stickler when it comes to copyright, so their VR world is a little unrealistic, but we're gonna let it slide. Oh my god, the pacing. Oh, this movie was especially hard to follow. So the movie starts off mid-story, then suddenly we are whisked back to 7 months prior without being told we are. Suzu is at school, then she's dragged to a party, then she goes home, throws up, then signs up for the VR chat, virtual reality, to become Belle. Then suddenly we are back at school, and she gets her picture taken. Then we're back to Suzu signing up for the virtual reality and using that picture she got from school. As soon as she gets into the virtual reality, she doesn't explore or meet new people. She just immediately stands in place and starts singing. And she's like, oh my god, I can sing again, which was really, really weird. What is happening? She's just setting up an account online, and they've made it the most confusing thing I've ever seen. I guess the point of her coming to this virtual reality was so she could sing again without feeling self-conscious, but the audience doesn't care. We want to see this virtual reality first. A little world building and exploration would have been nice. Also, what are these rings that surround her when she sings? Is that just fancy nonsense? I don't really understand their purpose, but they're there. Oh, and then people watch her sing and just start insulting her avatar and her song. They're like, oh my god, this song is terrible, and wow, her avatar is so ugly. She's not! Her voice is gorgeous, and so is her avatar? Look at these idiots! You guys are literally the ugliest things I've ever seen. Twitch streamer girls have to ban so many people for being creepy white knights and perverts all the heckin' time. Look me in the eye and tell me people wouldn't immediately thirst over her character. Then Suzu leaves, and then a day later, all of a sudden, she's become this overnight popular sensation, despite the fact that no one wanted to listen to her prior. Who was recording this? How did word spread? But then we get this sudden montage of Belle's many concerts, and suddenly Suzu is running over to her best friend, freaking out at Belle's criticism, and now we jump back to the 7 months later in present time without realizing, movie, please, tell me when we are time jumping. You do it constantly, and I cannot understand what is happening. They establish a lot in quick succession, but ironically, because of how quiet it is, when we cut back to the human world, somehow it makes the pacing feel super slow and boring. So not only is your brain trying to catch up, it's also stuttering because of how slow the plot is going during the IRL sections of the movie. It's super confusing. Later in the movie, Belle has this massive concert and the Beast comes in, interrupting the performance with all these vigilantes after him, and he just destroys her show, and Belle becomes obsessed with him and tries to hunt him down. Why, girl? Why? When Belle tries to find the Beast, her best friend is like, I finally found his hideout, I know where he is. And Belle and the audience are both like, how though? And then she meets these weird fairies that trick her and get her lost. A ghost child she met earlier leads her the correct way, allowing her to find the Beast. The Beast yells at her and kicks her out, and then she writes him a love song, and then we have an entire weird game sequence of completely useless school gossip that gives her a panic attack, but as soon as it starts, it's over. Then she goes to see the Beast again, and gets attacked by vigilantes, and then the Beast saves her, and then she sings to him, and they do the Beauty and the Beast ballroom dance. And it also doesn't help that we spend like 40 to 70% of the movie going on this weird Among Us goose chase of figuring out the Beast's true identity. All the leads are fake or dead ends, and then all of a sudden, 3/4 of the way into the movie, they just so happen to find out who he is by chance. Convenient much? And even the movie doesn't know how they found this one unpopular live stream of the kids singing Belle's secret song when they were tracking leads on the Beast. The movie wasted our time on all these weird, shallow people that add nothing to the story. There's like a dozen scenes of Suzu just walking on the same bridge over and over. That scene where Belle first comes in and gets criticized, this isn't an isolated event. There is constant gossip throughout the movie, even at inappropriate times. There's a scene where Suzu is watching a live stream of these two kids getting abusively yelled at by their father, and then after it happens, 3 random people show up in the live watcher feed, comment saying, "Look at this, child abuse. Man, call the cops, should we?" They laugh, and then the live watcher count drops to 1 again. I'm sorry, what? Those people didn't see what happened.
Hi everyone, sorry for the degraded audio quality, but I looked back and discovered something. For the 3 guys that come on stream, one of them actually was in there earlier, and he told his friends about it, bringing them over, but there's still a problem. The first guy leaves as soon as the father breaks glass. The boy is barely even mid-fall before this guy leaves the stream. All this guy saw was the dad knocking over a vase. The 3 guys come back to see 2 kids alone and a vase knocked over. The 2 guys the first one brought in didn't see anything, and yet they all laugh about child abuse. Later on, the dad gets a message on his phone. Someone sent him a recording of him abusing his kids. It's impossible for either of these 3 guys to have recorded it, and we didn't see Belle's manager recording it nor post it online, so I have no idea how this man ever saw this video. I have no idea who recorded this video, I have no idea who posted the video, and I have no idea who found it and sent it to him. This is just a reverse Deus Ex Machina situation. The writers were just trying to up the stakes, I guess. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good.
Praise and gossip when it comes to celebrities is not uncommon, not to mention internet trolls. All that is very real. But the constant back and forth chatter in the movie is not only weird to listen to, but also distracting. Good lord, it's exhausting trying to keep up with the timeline and all these characters here. Speaking of characters, let's talk about them. Suzu, our main character. Suzu is a shy girl who lost her voice since her mom died. Going into the virtual reality world made her gain back her confidence to sing again. She becomes super popular despite her self-consciousness. Suzu's parents. Suzu has this weird avoidance relationship with her dad. He just asks her if she wants dinner or help with anything, and she constantly shuts him out. Not really sure why she does that. Might have something to do with her mom being dead, but it was kinda awkward. I wish we could have seen the dad be a bit less stoic about the situation, but he's a side character. Doesn't really matter in the long run. Also, he looks like Superman for some reason. Suzu was upset her mom died to save a child that wasn't her own. She felt abandoned by her mom. It isn't until later, when Suzu doxes herself for the Beast, for the sake of saving another person, she finally realizes the sacrifice her mother made, and she chose to do the same. It was a beautiful moment. Suzu's best friend and Belle's manager. She was a fun, boasting character. Glad Suzu had some kind of support, otherwise she'd be completely lost. Childhood friend with the personality of a rock. Suzu has this crush on her childhood friend, I guess, because he said he would protect her when they were kids. He constantly frets over her like a stern mom and always has advice and pushes her to do better. But yeah, he's like the Beast identity cop-out. I assumed the Beast was gonna be him, but it doesn't look like he even had a U account. He immediately knows Suzu is Belle and encourages her to help the Beast, despite the fact that he should be in the dark about the situation. I honestly don't understand what she sees in him. He's tall and handsome, sure, but like, again, personality of a rock. He's a really boring side character. popular prep girl and class comedian. These two are super quirky, super silly, and really fun to watch. There's an entire scene where they confess to each other and it's hilariously adorable. The sad truth, however, is that they're side characters that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. They're kinda pulled along for the ride for some reason. I kinda wish this movie was about them instead, if I'm being honest. Middle-aged choir women. There's this quirky group of older women that hang around Suzu. You have no idea who they are until like the end of the movie where you see a picture of them with Suzu. They were apparently friends with her mom. That's how she knows them. They all apparently have U avatars as well, which again, you don't find out until last minute. And they too rush in, acting as though they understand everything that is going on and support Suzu in whatever she's doing. It's cute, but they're all just there. It's like, oh, main plot is happening. Let's have all subplots diverge to meet at once, even though the majority of us don't really need to be here. Then there's the Beast cop-outs, like the tortured artist guy, the cynical baby lady, a baseball player that looks like the vigilante, and a few others. They added nothing to the story, just a bunch of dead ends, wastes of time. But yeah, all these characters were really cute, but unfortunately, unnecessary. Belle's rival, Peggy Sue. Yes, that is her real username. This lady was a Queen Bee rival character to Belle. She was kind of fun, a little catty. She comes around in the end and supports Belle and reveals that she and Belle are very much alike, just probably normal high school girls. But she wasn't really around for the story. Wish we could have seen a little more of her. All Might and Gaston's fusion. Oh god, this guy. Justin. That's his name. He's like an asshole vigilante with power who threatens people and just wants to dox the Beast. He's like, this villain must be revealed. We have to destroy the Beast. He's a monster. As though this were an actual beast and not just some person behind a screen. It's like reading a YouTube comments section. What is this? I think this guy got too intense in his roleplay. I hated him. I don't know why or how he got sponsors. I don't know why people gave this rando a doxing gun. They just needed a virtual world conflict in this movie. And it shows. These vigilantes somehow banded together perfectly, not fighting for leadership, and they have all these weapons. It's like My Hero Academia all of a sudden. It was really weird. The Beast and his sibling. The Beast is actually this boy who has an autistic brother and an abusive dad. They managed to get U-Tech through charity donations from Belle at the beginning of the movie, I think. That piece of information is kind of subtle. It happens in the background. But yeah, this kid uses U as an outlet to release his anger, pain, and sadness from the turmoil he deals with at home. Their characters are pretty solid, but the Beast's relationship with Belle is confusing. Are they friends? Are they in love? At some point they look like they're gonna kiss, and then in the real world, they rest their foreheads together and they're like, you made me stronger and you're my hero. But Suzu has a crush on someone else. They keep calling the Beast a kid. I don't know their age difference, but like, please someone clarify what the relationship is here. I am so confused. Beast's dad. This guy is the real villain of the movie. His wife is dead and he verbally and physically abuses his children. End of story. The Beast kid says everyone is always trying to talk to his father or help them, but no one ever does. Congratulations, Child Protective Services, you failed again. The live stream gets cut off and for some odd reason every protagonist and side character in the movie is suddenly there. They do all this ridiculous zooming in on the kid's eye to see him watching Belle. They adjust the lighting on the window. Like, this is a common webcam. What the hell kind of enhancement software crap? You know what? It's just a bad movie trope. I don't care. There's dumber things afoot. Anyway, they find out where the Beast Kid lives and call the police for a welfare check. Police tell them they can't do anything and have to wait 48 hours after the call and that it's the law. I don't live in Japan, so I will not pretend to know their laws. But fam, I don't think waiting periods on wellness checks are a thing. I've heard of waiting periods for a missing persons report, but never a welfare check. That kind of goes against the entire point of a welfare check. They have video evidence these children are being abused and are in immediate danger. That shit spreads on the internet enough for their dad to see the live stream apparently. How aren't more people harassing the police to help these kids? This is not a Japanese law or policy. I refuse to believe this crap. It's just an excuse to get Suzu to go find the Beast herself. And also, why in the hell did these idiots let her go there alone? You're a group of 5 high school kids, 3 of which are sneaky smart and the other 2 are tall and athletic. Not to mention, you got 5 middle-aged adult ladies, 2 of them even drive her to the train station. Why in the hell didn't they go with her? They are willingly letting their precious, shy teenage girl journey out on her own to confront a violent man halfway across Japan? Every single one of you are idiots! Anyway, Suzu miraculously finds these kids. The dad sees them and Suzu tries to protect them. He pulls a chunk of flesh from her face and she turns around and stares him down as he is about to punch her. This guy pauses with his fist in the air and screams at her. Why did he stop? Did she look like his dead wife? Did her strange expression throw him off? Did he know he was going to jail after seeing blood on her face? Does he know he hurt Belle, pop singer extraordinaire? If he did, he knows how screwed he is. But I don't think he knows who she is. It's not clear at all. Also, he just becomes a scared little baby and runs off. Why though? She's a teenager. Movie, please pick one of the reasons listed above and give us an explanation. The director and writers didn't think this movie through at all. Oh, and then after she hugs the boys, she just goes home with a bandage on her face and everyone cheers at her. And we never see the Beast Kid again. I'm sorry, what the fuck happened? Did the dad get arrested? Are the kids put in foster homes? Why didn't she take them with her? Why is everyone celebrating if they weren't there to witness what happened? This movie is a mess. I want to see this man arrested. Anyway, let's get on to the Beauty and the Beast themes. I skimmed over this in the pacing, but the Beauty and the Beast themes of this movie were super forced. They're too loose to truly compare to the Disney film. Fun fact though, the original title of this movie is actually The Dragon and the Freckled Princess. So in the Japanese version, the Beast is actually not the Beast, but Ryu. Dragon. The Disney movie themes are still present, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Like I said, Beast ruins her show, almost hits her, beats up and destroys the code of a bunch of people, and then pieces out. And Bella's like, oh my god, who is he? She becomes obsessed with him, stalking him down. She finds his hideout castle or whatever. He's got like these small fairy things that I guess mimic the castle servants. She demands he tell her who he really is. And I'm like, Belle, you want him to dox himself to you? When being doxed is one of your greatest fears? You hypocrite. What is this sense of entitlement? Also, who shows up on VR chat, sees someone make a scene, and immediately think, who is this person IRL? And hunts them down? Like, that's really fucking weird, Suzu. That's creepy. Anyway, I guess she sings him a song and they dance together. He does kind of save her once. But otherwise, they don't really talk. They don't get to know each other. It's all really fast-paced and forced. And this guy is sort of like the Gaston, I guess, but he's more so like an evil version of All Might who threatens her and just wants to dox the Beast for some reason. The castle burns down and the Beast disappears and never comes back to you in the movie. So it mimics scenes from Beauty and the Beast, but Belle willingly hunts down the Beast. She puts aside her career in concerts over him. She is threatened to be doxxed if she doesn't reveal his location, but protects him for some reason. It's all really weird. These two don't know each other. They have no reason to trust each other. I don't think there's romance here. It's a very loose referencing. I don't know. It's very strange. Also, the Beast is weirdly popular with children and I don't know why. Everyone hates the Beast. All he does is fight people and destroy stuff and you. And the kids are like, I love him. He's my hero. And I'm like, please show us this heroic side, please. Because the audience sure hasn't seen it outside of him helping Belle. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the worst I've saved for last. What on earth is the world building in this movie? So, You is a virtual reality application that connects your biology and nervous system to an auto-generated avatar. How is this legal? Couldn't this have psychological consequences and nerve damage if it connects to your body? Phantom pains, anyone? Has this all been tested before release? Also, 3/4 of the way into the movie, Suzu plugs herself into You. She is running IRL while somehow simultaneously flying through debris in the opposite direction in you. If her nerves are connected to the game, how is that possible? Can she see the real world in one eye and you in the other? You try to play a video game and run at the same time. You can't possibly split your attention span like that. That doesn't make any sense. And when Belle moves and dances, Suzu just sits there, vegetating at her computer. How does that work? You need alternate devices for Beat Saber for the game to track your movements. How can you will your arm to move in a game if your arm IRL doesn't move? How advanced is this technology? And when it comes to you, tech, the only things you need to access you is AirPods and some kind of phone or laptop. First off, this is extremely advanced technology that the government should be utilizing for human-driven robots, spy machines, and more. And yet, this is just being used as a video game like Second Life. Granted, this is Japan and not the US, so maybe they're not as power-hungry as we are over here, but I don't know, I think this technology could be used for something a bit more useful. In real life, you need a VR headset that covers your eyes and ears to give you the best experience possible. Really the only experience possible. Game VR headsets can cost as low as $400 to as high as $800. AirPods cost as low as $110 to as high as $500. How in the hell did a rural, jobless, single-parented high school girl pay for you services? Kinda seems like she somehow got her hands on these without asking her dad. Did she steal his credit card? To pay for a wireless earbud bio-network connection device that makes you hallucinate and feel like you're in a completely different world? Look me in the eye and tell me these are cheap. 'Cause they're not. The world of you also has no lag. You can connect to you on your phone device, and apparently this rural girl doesn't need 5 bars to access you perfectly. If you don't have Wi-Fi, can you not connect? I'd assume so. How is this not more of an issue for people? That's never addressed. What's even worse, the world of you has no governments outside of vigilantes, one of which somehow got enough sponsors from rich companies to get a doxing gun to threaten people who they deem are misbehaving or destroying the peace of you. But yeah, no, legit, the people that made the world of you refused to implement proper police force because they said it was unfair in their virtual society, which makes literally no sense. In order to make society fair, it needs to be policed. In what fucking VR world are there no mods or policies? You gave us no terms of service, they didn't give us any community guidelines, I don't know what the age limit is, if any. Like, this really is a lawless land. Allegedly, more than 5 billion people worldwide use you. That's more than half the entire planet! How many damn servers is that? Is this a Japanese-only server? Are there no server user limits? Is there only one server? How the fuck can everyone be in the same place at the same time? Are you telling me there's no censored language or mods? No hacking prevention? There's no banning? No termination or suspension? Only doxing? What the hell kind of user control is that? And out of the probably millions of people that could possibly be disturbing the peace, these idiots are going after the Beast? A person that just destroys character code if they mess with him? Really? There's no other nefarious people out there causing problems? Do you have any idea how many predators could be using you to groom younger kids or snag information from them? There's really no trolls using horrible hate speech just to get a rile out of people? No one's avatars are straight weird or sexual in nature? This is like the Ready Player One movie all over again. The setting of you is confusing. It's a massive city, but we never see the inside of the buildings. Ever. I don't know who created or manages these buildings. Most users are just aimlessly flying around through floating highways, not sure where they are going or why they cluster together like this. Belle at some point has a concert in the giant dome. Does she rent it? Did they make this dome? Was it always there? I don't know, and the movie doesn't either. The Beast apparently has a hidden castle protected through various firewalls instigated by AI bots. Did he make the castle? Does you have a building minigame? Otherwise, he would have had to have 3D modeled that himself or stole the model from somewhere else. How and why is this castle protected? I have so many questions. Because this is a lawless land, people can just build stuff whenever they want, wherever they want? Can buildings be vandalized or taken over? Would the vigilantes do anything to stop that behavior? We never see. All they ever focus on is the Beast and his castle. And when the Beast's hideout is found, it gets set on fire. That's not how destroying data in you works. Also, those fire physics would lag the entire server and make everyone's game crash. Also, these weird little AI creatures or bots, who made them? Did they always exist in you? They call the Beast Master. Did he make them? What about this giant whale that comes out of nowhere and serves as Belle's transportation? Are those guys AI? Is he like a groovy bot to assist music streaming through you? Seriously, who are these creatures? Why did they gravitate towards these two? Answers, please. In you, it seems like the only punishment you have is either data loss or doxing. Doxing seems ironically like the ultimate end-all for this world, which is weird because there are already people in this movie that have doxed themselves. Suzu's friend tracks a bunch of people down who have their U accounts tied to their public social media accounts, and they contact them for information. So, to a bunch of people, this doxing gun means nothing, especially if their persona isn't famous. What if no one recognizes this person? What if they're a complete recluse with no friends? It's essentially this scene.
Lex, you're having a difficult day. If nothing else, I can at least learn the Flash's secret identity. I have no idea who this is.
The only punishment in you is either public humiliation and IRL harassment and stalking post-doxing. At the end of the movie, Suzu doxes herself, destroying her Belle persona. I thought this persona was completely lost and destroyed, a true sacrifice, but no. She just becomes the Belle persona again when the whale comes up to support her. I'm sorry, does the doxing gun have a time limit? Can you save your persona file? Can you switch between your persona and IRL body whenever you want? Please tell me. If I haven't convinced you that the world of you is complete nonsense already, let's take a look at the community guidelines and rules of IRL virtual reality apps like VR Chat and Second Life, shall we? Let's take a look at VR Chat's community guidelines. Welcome to VR Chat, a platform and online community where you can be anyone, create anything, and interact with people from all over the world. Every experience you'll have inside VR Chat is unique, probably a little weird, but definitely enjoyable and even inspiring. All of these experiences are possible thanks to our amazing community and the guidelines they've followed to make VR Chat a fun and safe place for everyone. As a member of our community, we request that you follow these same guidelines. Individuals who fail to follow these guidelines are subject to account moderation. Age requirement: you must be 13 years or older to use VR Chat services. I am unsure what age the Beast's brother is, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and turn a blind eye to the age requirements, especially with Japan's extremely low consent age. We do not permit hate speech, including language, symbols, and actions, discrimination towards spiritual beliefs, gender, sexual orientation, sexual identity, disability, and/or other personally identifying factors. Repeatedly approaching an individual with the intent to disturb or upset. Usernames, display names, and the content of a user's profile must abide by our community guidelines in terms of service. Live streaming, advertising, or publicly sharing content that is sexually explicit in nature or simulates sex acts is not permitted. Any linked content must not violate community guidelines. This includes, but is not limited to, portals to other worlds, avatar pedestals, downloaded images, video, and audio. Check all content that is accessible from your own content. We do not permit impersonation of a VR Chat employee, falsely identifying yourself as another individual or group. Disclosure of personal information, also referred to as doxing. Disclosing an individual's personal information will result in immediate account termination and actions leading up to alerting local authorities. You may not modify any part of the VR Chat client or SDK. This also extends to any unauthorized third-party tools that interact with the client. You may not create cheats, cracks, bots, and exploiting bugs in the client or SDK. You may not disrupt or interfere with the experience of VR Chat users, including disruption of VR Chat servers. You may not mine or collect unauthorized information from VR Chat using unauthorized third-party software. You may not reverse engineer, steal, extract, or rip content from VR chat. Use or redistribute content that has been reverse engineered, stolen, extracted, or ripped from VR chat. Content in this context is either content generated by VR chat or by other users. Avatar modifications seems fine, no issues here. You may not market, promote, advertise, or solicit unauthorized products or services within VR chat or official forums. VR chat accounts. Do not share your account information with others. Do not provide false information or intentionally hide information when creating an account with VR chat. Role-playing is not an excuse for violating the community guidelines. Lots of users enjoy role-playing in VR chat. While role-playing, the community guidelines in terms of service must still be followed. Hate groups. Creating and being involved in a group that is based on or advocates discrimination or harassment is not allowed. Everything else is just talking about bans, termination, and suspension of accounts and stuff, so what do we got, fellas? The world of you and its inhabitants violated 7 out of 13 VR chat rules. At least half of them. Characters have undergone harassment. Pornography is skimmed upon but most likely allowed. Doxing is used as a threat. Third-party software can directly interfere with gameplay and sabotage one's privacy and account. You can make as many bots as you want. You can probably steal building designs and items from other people. Belle advertises her concerts and makes money off of them, so that's clear solicitation. And intensive role-playing is allowed regardless of how uncomfortable other people may be with it. Now let's take a look at Second Life and see some of the differences here. Linden Lab offers users the ability to create and share content, and fosters communities for users to interact with each other and freely express themselves through Linden Lab's various interactive products and services. These standards set out actions that could result in restrictions on your access to the service, up to and including account termination. It appears Second Life also disapproves of intolerance and harassment. Assault. Any act of violence toward a user's avatar, including an act of intimidation or bullying, such as repeatedly shooting or pushing, will not be tolerated. Creating or using scripts that singularly or persistently target a user and prevent a user's enjoyment of the service is also not allowed. Character bullying and fighting is considered assault and will not be tolerated. You has fighting tournaments, albeit consensual ones, but non-consensual assault is aplenty in the world of you. 1 Second Life rule violated. Invasion of personal space and comfort zones. It is important to respect the personal space of another user. We strongly encourage you to be mindful of your movement, hand gestures, and your avatar's positioning relative to other avatars. Inappropriate content. All content, activity, and communication within the service must adhere to the content guidelines, including but not limited to abiding by any limitations on the type of content permissible in certain areas of the service. In Second Life, adult content is only permitted on private regions designated as adult. Private regions designated as adult will be filtered from non-verified Second Life accounts. It looks like in their content guidelines they have reasonable restrictions, among them including explicit content. However, it appears Second Life has adult content permitted in private regions, labeled adult, which means some suggestive content may be allowed, just not full-on pornography. So, I guess because they are allowed some adult content, I will let this one slide. Oh look, doxing is not allowed in Second Life either. Disturbing the peace/global attacks. Linden Lab aims to provide users with an enjoyable experience on the service. Please be mindful that your actions may cause slow server performance or may inhibit other users' ability to enjoy the service. Examples of prohibited attempts to disturb the peace include, but are not limited to, manipulating scripts, repeated transmission of undesired content, spawning items, disrupting events or user conversations. Objects, scripts, or actions that interfere with or disrupt the service, servers, or other systems related to the service will not be tolerated in any form. You will be held responsible for any actions taken by or caused by objects or scripts that belong to you or your account. Impersonation is not allowed. And the enforcement of these rules, warning, suspension, termination, etc. It seems like solicitation may very well be allowed in Second Life. From what I recall, you can buy and sell designs and items and the like, which could very well be what is happening in you, but that's the main difference between VR chat and Second Life. So, rule violation for you going off of Second Life's guidelines is 5 out of
8.
High numbers. If these characters existed IRL, they'd be banned immediately. What did we learn from this? A virtual reality without servers, mods, and user guidelines is impossible, and therefore this movie is one giant plot hole. Just make this a magical isekai. Somehow that would have made more sense than whatever this was. Movie was gorgeous, but too many plot holes. Visuals would get a 6 out of 10, but the story makes it a 4 out of 10. 4 for unfortunate. Hey, you made it to the end of the video! Thanks to all my patrons for supporting me as always! You guys are the best. And I have some lovely fan art to showcase here. Thanks to Jack of All Spades for a cute Hollow Knight OC, and A for my lovely scarf inclusion, and thanks to Ashy Does Stuff on Instagram, and thank you to Chiaki Nanami on Twitter and Triassic Lane on DeviantArt for these cuties as well. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you, brother.
You try.
My brother is handing me food.
You eat.
Do I have to?
Now.
What is this?
Take bite.
What are you feeding me? Brother, please.
Pita pocket.
Pita pocket?
Take bite. That's just the bread. That's like not even tasting it. The fuck?